all 13 of our past presidents have been visionaries in their own ways. But when I look back to the beginning, starting something that didn't exist and beginning the foundation, for me, Mark Karsch and Allan Eisenkraft were two great visionaries.
I called together 25 Jewish leaders who came to my home, and we had a big meeting in my living room to discuss whether we wanted a Jewish Y in the county. The answer was a resounding yes.
Meeting Mark Karsch and Allan Eisenkraft at this first meeting was sort of like being a bystander when they were putting together the Bill of Rights. You know, this is a room filled with visionaries and filled with people who had the ability to do things. What was really great was, this goes back to Allan, he had the ability to bring people into the room that had different talents. And Mark Karsch was one of those folks.
Mark was a huge leader, both financially, also as the first president of the JCC. He helped to get the JCC started.
Eventually the Y moved into our building at 250 West Nyack Road.
With that generosity of spirit and in a very quiet demeanor that he had, leaned in and said, we'll do it at my place. To think about someone taking a chance on opening a space that he had in a business that should have been collecting rent. I mean, what a leap of faith.
Mark was a heart and soul. Anything you ever needed, Mark was there for you. And he brought an emotional value, I think, to the JCC. He was somebody who you immediately felt close to.
You know, being the first president is just not an easy task. There's no role model for you. There's no precedent to look back on. And Mark Karsch stepped up. Taking that leap of faith was not a fool's errand or a folly, but in fact is how dreams get realized.
I consider Allan the father of the Y. Allan worked very, very hard for many years, and to see it to fruition today and what it will be in the future.
Allan was a visionary because he believed that it was very important that there should be a Jewish community center. Most people don't do anything about it, and they move on. They expect somebody else to do it. In Allan's case, he was willing to lead.
Allan said, we need to do this to help strengthen the Jewish community in Rockland County and to have a YMYWHA where folks could come together of every sort of religiosity in Judaism and come together as a community. When people were saying, how are we going to do this? This was sort of a dream. Allan was steadfast and said, oh, we'll do this. And he said,
a man like me.
A man like me.
A man like me will make it happen.
The Y was a very fledgling organization, but each president brought the Y to new heights.
How did something get off the ground like this? Well, you needed a Mark Karsch and you needed an Allan Eisenkraft. You needed a Ruby Josephs. You needed all of these people that in their own way were larger than life, but brought very different skills to the table. There were a lot of dynamics going on. This was leadership, this was an accelerated course in leadership and philanthropy. And Allan never shied away. I mean, you can't even say the word shy and Allan in the same sentence. But he never shied away from saying to somebody, you also have this responsibility. Now step up.
And I think if Mark and Allan could say anything to the community, it would be that the work is never done.
I always thought back to Allan's words, it's not about our kids, it's about the kids coming after them. And I thought, that's the klal. That's how you build for the community.